Hey everybody, Kemp from creativecashflow.com. Today's section we're going to be talking about is going to be the more advanced side of the due on sale clause. We've already talked about the due on sale clause from kind of a 30,000 foot view, but today I want to give you an actual script to actually talk through with your seller, with your buyer, to explain what due on sale clause is in such a way that they're going to feel comfortable with it. One thing that we need to be very clear on is that you should never sweep due on sale clause under the rug. Due on sale clause is going to be very important to get it out in front of them because it is a risk that they are taking. If you're buying subject to, if you're selling with a wraparound mortgage, if there's a due on sale clause involved, that is a risk that is being taken. And shoot, not just for them, but for you too. You have to understand that this asset could disappear off of a due on sale clause. Now again, as you've watched this whole series, you will learn ways to kind of help yourself be in a position where due on sale clause is not going to be something that you really need to worry about. Hands down, the most important thing that you can do is make sure that you've got your insurance taken care of the right way. That's going to be what typically is going to make that due on sale clause get called. But you also need things like private money and stuff like that lined up to make sure that you're going to be able to get out of jail free if the due on sale clause does get called eventually. But again, it's very important to bring this up to your buyer. It's very important to bring this up to your seller so that they get that this exists, because they will not have ever heard this phrase and they will not know what it is. Speak with confidence. This is one of the most important things you can do in negotiation regardless. The example I always use is that we've all been around the little kids that are running around playing, and one of them slips and falls and scrapes their knee, and they start looking up at all the adults and they've kind of got a quivering chin. And if all the adults jump up and say, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? Are you okay? Everything?" The kid starts crying. But if all the adults just keep drinking their drink and whatever, get up, go play, the kid will be, and then they get up and go play, right? We're the adults in this situation. We need to dictate how the reaction should be on a lot of different topics. Due on sale clause is going to be one of those. By our presentation, our buyer and our seller are going to be picking up the non-verbal cues and even the verbal cues on how much they need to care about it. So we need to be aware of that. And we need to be ready to convey, hey, look, this can happen. It's absolutely there. I'm not worried about it. Let's move on, right? Speak with confidence. Again, both the sale and the acquisition need to be informed on this. Due on sale clause is something that's very real. It's there. It's very real. But it's not something I want you to panic about, because again, using the experience of myself and my partners, we've done over 10,000 deals this way with subject to properties and mortgages that have due on sale clauses inside of them, and under 10 have ever been called. It's not something that typically gets called. At the end of the day, the bank wants to get paid, and so that's what they're worried about, is getting their money, getting their payments. One thing that I want to point out to you as well is that it's really common for people to say, "Oh, well, it's illegal to sell a property or to buy a property that doesn't or that has an underlying mortgage on it." You hear this from realtors a lot, because realtors, and I'm sorry to offend any of you who are realtors out there, but historically and traditionally, realtors are very inside of the box. Realtors have a way to make money on this property, and they've been told by their big box realty company brokerage that everything else is wrong. If they don't know how to do it, it must be illegal. Right? That's what they're taught and taught and taught and taught. It's either unethical or illegal if it's not selling a house for 6% realtor fees. Okay? So we need to be aware of the fact that it's not illegal. It is something you can do. And the biggest thing I can point to from that is the Texas State Property Code. Now, for those of you who are in other states, I can't speak for your states, but Texas State Property Code, Section 5.016, that speaks on specifically how to correctly sell a property that has an underlying mortgage on it. There are disclosures that need to be given. There are time frames that need to be met, that kind of stuff. But it is absolutely legal. You just have to do it in a legal way, okay? So we need to be aware of that. It's not illegal to do this. You're not violating a due on sale clause. For those of you who watched the first part of the due on sale clause video, you saw an example of a due on sale clause, what it looks like. This is an option that banks have to call the note due. It's not an obligation. You're not violating something, but you are triggering it, and you do need to disclose that properly. So without further ado, what I want to do is I want to go through and I'm going to put this slide up on the screen with my script. You can also download the script from the description, or if you're a creativecashflow.com member, go to your resources page and you'll be able to download the script there. You're also going to be able to download the Texas Property Code 5.016 so that you can read for yourself what the Texas State Property Code has to say about selling a property with an underlying mortgage on it. But again, I'm going to put these words up. I want you guys to follow along. I want you to read this along with me. I've got some stage direction for you in there as well. And I want you to memorize this as your script for when you're talking to buyers and sellers about due on sale clause. Okay, so here's what we're going to say. Due on sale is something that's in every mortgage. And I think one big reason why it exists is that when you think about a traditional home sale, you'd have your realtor and you're going to open hand point to them like this, right? You're not pointing yet, you're open handing it. You'd have your realtor, I'd have my realtor, right? Open hand back to yourself. I would have gone and gotten a loan from Bank of America, right? We're just kind of pointing off to the side because we want to visualize where Bank of America is. And then we'd be sitting at a closing table with a big check for $100,000 sitting on that title table. When I say you're slapping your hand down, just exactly what I just did. You're just kind of putting your hand down, right? Bank of America, there'd be a big check for $100,000 on the title table. The banks needed something in writing that said that when you sold your house, this is when you point to them, you're actually pointing. When you sold your house, the big check on the title table belonged to them, thumbing back over to your Bank of America visualization, so that you couldn't just take it and run, okay? You couldn't just take it and run. Right, what we're doing is we're verbalizing and we're giving them nonverbal cues too. We're teaching them both visually in their mind and verbally, right? The bank needed something in place to make doubly sure that in a situation of a sale, their investment was protected. Well, what we're doing absolutely triggers the due on sale clause because you are selling your house to me. However, my partners and I have been in this business for over 30 years. We've seen more than 10,000 transactions done this way. And we've only ever seen 6 of these called. Because what does the bank want? And you're literally going to pause here and you're going to gesture to them because what does the bank want? And just wait for them. And they're going to say money. They're going to say money. That's 99% of the time that's what they're going to say. And you're going to say, that's right. They want their money. They want their payments. So historically speaking, as long as the bank is getting their payments, they're happy. So even though this isn't something that we deem as a big risk, it's still there. And they absolutely have the option to call it. So I always want to do the right thing and make sure that everyone knows everything that's going on, okay? And you just, okay, you nod your head. And you wait for them to have questions. If they have questions, let them ask them. But they're probably not going to have them. And then you're going to say, okay. So the next part of this will be us actually going into the contract. Or the next part of this will be whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's where you just kind of transition to the next part. So I want you guys to memorize this script and use that as what you say to people. I can tell you, whenever I started this business, due on sale clause was the hardest thing for me to get past with buyers. With sellers. It was just really hard for me to help them understand what due on sale clause was without making it seem like some big, scary, just monster that they had to worry about. Now, when I started using this script, I stopped getting questions. I stopped having people worry about the due on sale clause because this outlines it in a way that they understand what's going on with the due on sale clause and why it does and doesn't matter. But a big thing in here is when I bold into that letter or that word absolutely triggers, we absolutely trigger the due on sale clause. We need to be very clear with them. What we're doing absolutely triggers the due on sale clause. You really hammer that in. So we've explained why the due on sale clause exists, what the due on sale clause is, and that we absolutely trigger it, but the likelihood of them calling it is very slim because the bank just wants their money. We can't say that they won't call it, but what we can say is historically speaking that they haven't been calling it. Now I use the example of 6 properties being called with due on sale clause because that's what I've seen happen. I've only seen about 6 of them get called. Now at that point, none of those have actually gone to foreclosure or gone to a situation where everybody was losing their house. With each one of them, they were able to be fixed in one method or another. But another way you can say it is under 10. A lot of times now I'm saying under 10 have ever been called. You know, the odds are really slim that that's going to happen, right? But this script right here is going to be what you need to be using whenever you're discussing due on sale with your buyer. So again, watch this video, really try to learn the script itself. Look at the first due on sale clause video as well. I want you to combine those two things because this is your only sticking point that you're going to have with sellers. But I really want to go back and reiterate that even with me showing you and saying, oh, well, this is your sticking point like that, you know, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's up to the adult to dictate how things are handled and how much things matter. By me putting 2 videos together on this, it may scare you and you may be like, oh my gosh, this matters so much. That's not what I'm getting across here, right? I don't want you to stress out about this because it's not a big deal. I don't get people turning down our deals because of this, but it is a common question, especially from people that know about what the due on sale clause is, and so we need to be fully prepared to answer that. And we need to be prepared to present it in a way that's well-rounded, that is well-spoken, and that's what this is all about. So don't stress yourself out about this. This is not something for you to stress yourself out about because that's going to be conveyed in your negotiations, and you need to be very careful that that's not coming across. But I'm just doing my job to give you all the information that you need to properly present this to people who need it presented to them, okay? So, like always, go out and find creativecashflow.com on social media, on Facebook. Look for us at creativecashflow.com. You can sign up for the personal mentoring there if you want to upgrade your package, or any of the educational series that are available on that will be available on creativecashflow.com. And then, as always, I really recommend Propelio.com. They've sponsored these videos. They're doing a great job of getting education out in front of people. They're doing a great job of putting together a piece of online software that really does help the real estate investor. It was founded by somebody who is deeply into single-family real estate, more so than 99.9% of the other guys that you're ever going to meet in this business, and that being Daniel Moore. And he's brilliant and knows exactly what he's doing with this and got all of those principles put into the software for you. So go check it out, see what you have to offer on there, and then also look at their forums, because there's a lot of education that you can get on that website as well. I really encourage you guys to look and see what's available for you on that. And similarly, find them on Facebook, find them on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Like, follow, share, and become part of the story. Let us know your success stories. Let us know how you're using this, and let us know what your questions are. But until next time, keep on learning.